Aloha everyone and welcome to Skincare with Hiram. If you don't know who I am, my name is Hiram and I'm passionate about teaching you how to perfect your skincare routine. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you can see my videos every single week. I know you're probably thinking, Hiram, yet again, you're in another location. If I could only tell you the amount of stress I've been through in the past week. The Wi-Fi where I'm located has not been great. And because of that, I had to move locations, plus my lights broke, and a ton of technical difficulties. So just be grateful you're getting a video, girl. No, I'm kidding. I know you guys are grateful. I'm just nitpicky about this stuff. Oh my gosh, you guys, if you only knew how many months I have been waiting to create this video. It's been a long time coming. I've been trying these products out for so freaking long. I'm talking lab samples, bitch. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the brand new skincare brand, Bubble. You may have seen the brand Bubble pop up on your social media pages, whether it be through the brand, Kenzie Ziegler, TikTokers. This is a brand that is getting a lot of attention. And this video is thankfully sponsored by Bubble. Thank you so much, Bubble, for sponsoring this video. This partnership has been a long time coming. I have been trying Bubble products out since April, March, somewhere around there. It's been a long time. And I mean, with good reason. Bubble is really trying to redefine what teenage skincare means. That's what attracted me to the brand when they first reached out, but I was like, hold up, I need to try all these products before I get on board. And thankfully I was able to, and I have a lot of thoughts that I want to share with you guys. So I'm going to be going through each of the products from the brand and telling you guys which are my favorite. So let's get into it. Bubble is a new skincare brand that's really marketed towards teenagers. And from what I can see, they're really trying to redefine what teenage skincare means. And this I think is something amazing because I've talked about this on my channel. Teenage skincare is one of those things that I usually have a problem with because a lot of times the concerns that teenagers are struggling with, like breakouts, acne, irritation, sensitivity, require skincare that is made with skin health and skin sensitivity in mind. Yet the majority of teenage skincare products you will find on the market are heavily fragranced, highly irritating, overstripping, and just not great products. And it's always been a huge question mark in my head why these brands who know that teenagers are struggling with these issues create highly irritating formulas. Like it doesn't make sense. Tell me why. Ain't nothing but a fun. Oh my gosh, it's been way too long since I've been in a club, clearly. And one thing that I really love, and the whole reason why Bubble reached out to me in the first place, is that Bubble spoke to 3,000 teenagers about their skin, what their primary concerns are, what they struggle with, what they want in a product, what they don't want in a product, to be able to completely curate this brand based off of what consumers want, which is, yes, a victory. I love it when brands do that because I get to see what you guys want in the comment sections of my videos, and I see so many of you guys wanting specific types of skincare, but brands not catering to that. And what's also cool, if you're one of the teenagers that they spoke to, Bubble told me that a bunch of you guys were mentioning me, which means a lot. And they said that that was the main reason they reached out to me. So thank you to everyone who mentioned me. But I think it's awesome that this brand started based off of what teenagers want rather than telling teenagers what they want. I'm all about trusting consumers, and it drives me absolutely nuts that so many brands do not trust what consumers want because you guys are a lot smarter than brands give you credit for. So Bubble decided to launch an affordable skincare line with very strict standards. First of all the products are vegan and cruelty-free, which is amazing. Love to see it. And with a focus balancing both science-based skincare and plant-based skincare. That's really what I have on my channel. I really like to focus on the science, using what is clinically shown to work, but also utilizing the amazing benefits found in plants. They are fragrance and essential oil free. Can I get a whoop whoop? Honestly, that was a huge part of my initial attraction to the brand because first of all, it's rare that I find a fragrance-free brand, but it's also rare that I find a brand that explicitly says they're essential oil-free, which is something I appreciate because brands love to be sneaky and say that they're fragrance-free and then pack that shit with a ton of essential oils. No bueno. Oh, it sounds straight. Who is that? What straight persona did I not know I have? Should we name it? We should name it. Comment down below what you think straight Hiram's name should be. Anyway, and their products are affordable. You guys know that's why all of my recommendations for teenagers are always on the low end of the price spectrum because I can't in good faith recommend expensive products to you guys. I remember when I was in middle school, I was broke as hell. Overall, the brand seems to be really focused on high quality skincare products that fall within the clean category, but they don't greenwash and clean wash everything, which is something I really appreciate. Okay, now let's talk about the products because that's what I'm really excited to because one of these products specifically is one of my favorite skincare products of 2020. Seriously, it's going in my best of 2020 videos. So as usual with any reviews I do, I'm going to be ordering these from my least favorite and ending with my favorite. If you're interested in purchasing any of the products that I'm going to be talking about, make sure you go to the link in my description box below. I will have all the products linked down there so you can check out all of them. Well, actually, okay, I'm gonna rephrase that. There's no products that I don't like from this brand. There's just my favorites and then ones that aren't necessarily my favorites, but I still like. So, you know what, I'm just gonna do it randomly and then end with my favorites. First is their Wipeout Makeup Remover. This has like a moisturizer cream-like consistency that helps to break up all the makeup and dirt on your skin before you wash it off with the cleanser afterwards. Now, if you've watched videos on my channel, you know I am all about double cleansing. That is my thing. Love, love, love double cleansing. If you wear makeup or even just a lot of sunscreen, I think you should always double cleanse. But unfortunately, a lot of people do use makeup wipes. I've seen a lot of teens use them. I don't blame you, but they're also not the best. They can be overly rough on the skin and they create daily waste. And that's why I like this one. So this one is one of the most unique and innovative formulas I found for a makeup remover. Most of the time I find either a cleansing balm, a cleansing oil, or a cleansing water. This is like a cleansing moisturizer. It's hard to explain. The texture is very nice and very, very gentle. So the entire time I was using this, I never felt like my skin was stripped. It actually really softened my skin, which is great because I always like to make sure my skin is nourished and hydrated before I go in with a cleansing step afterwards. The other thing I like about this one is that it is gentle enough to be able to use on your eye area, which is something that you can't exactly do with every cleansing oil and every cleansing balm out there. And given my experience of this one, I think it's a great makeup remover if you are wearing lightweight makeup. I don't know how well it will perform with heavy makeup because I don't exactly wear heavy makeup on a daily basis. But if you are someone like me who does wear a lot of sunscreen, that's why I think something like this could be really beneficial because it'll help to get rid of the sunscreen without overly stripping your skin. And I think this is a great substitute to makeup wipes. The ingredients it has that I like are glycerin, propanediol, which are both going to be really hydrating for the skin, Meadowfoam Seed Oil, which is also nourishing but a great antioxidant, and raspberry and chickweed. Both of those are great antioxidants, but overall I'm just really impressed by this product's ability to moisturize the skin before going in with your cleansing step, which is exactly why I think this one is perfect for people with dry skin. But yeah. Oh yeah, it's also polyethylene free too, which is a form of plastic that I really don't like to see in either my cleansing balms, cleansing oils, or moisturizers. So I'm very glad to see it's not formulated in this one because the amount of makeup removers I found with polyethylene is insane. Bravo, Bubble. Next up is their Fresh Start Gel Cleanser. This was the first product I tried from them and the first one that I really, really enjoyed. This cleanser is very basic but very gentle, non-stripping surfactants. You guys know I'm all about making sure your cleansing step isn't overly stripping or overly damaging to the skin, which is why I'm more picky about which ingredients are in my cleanser than the average person. This one has very gentle cleansing agents, and while it did do a good job of cleansing my skin, I never personally once felt like it overly stripped my skin. Wow, I'm saying overly stripped a lot in this video. I need to think of a new term. I use this as a daytime and nighttime cleanser, which is impressive because a lot of times cleansers for my skin can oftentimes be a little bit too intense or a little bit too weak, which is why I have to switch up which one I use in the morning and which one I use at nighttime. But again, I never noticed any issues with this one and I was able to use them both. One thing I'm not crazy about for the packaging is that it does have a tiny little pump, so you do have to pump this multiple times, but the good thing is that you don't have to use very much cleanser. I only have to pump this about 3 or 4 times to get as much product as I need, so it's not like a huge downside. This also has a small percentage of gluconolactone, which is a polyhydroxy acid that gently exfoliates the skin without side effects that you usually get with ingredients like glycolic acid or lactic acid. And it has caffeine, a great antioxidant and skin soothing agent. Next up is the Slam Dunk Hydrating Moisturizer. Now this one is a moisturizer more meant for dry skin as it has a thicker, more creamy, heavier weight to it. As for ingredients I like, it has glycerin. Bear with me for this one, I always struggle with it. Isononanoate. Isononanoate. There we go. Which is a good conditioning and nourishing agent just to make sure your skin's soft. It also has aloe powder for soothing redness, avocado oil, one of the best hydrating oils on the market. It's one of my favorites. Shea butter, which will really nourish the skin, and hydrolyzed pea protein to help strengthen the skin. In my opinion, this is a good, richer moisturizer, and the ingredients are great for doing what it's supposed to do, just deeply nourish the skin. I personally don't have dry skin, but I do have dry areas on my cheeks, so that's where I specifically use this one, and I liked it. It worked well, it did what it was supposed to do. And honestly, that's the concurring theme that I do find with this brand and why I do like it. I think a lot of brands feel like they need to be like way over the top in fragrance or packaging or different ingredients for teenage skincare, when in reality, the best type of skincare that teens need is just basic, simple skincare. That's all you need, because anything excessive can push your skin over the edge, particularly when you're struggling with acne and breakouts. The unique thing, and this goes for both of their moisturizers, is the packaging. It has a little flip up top, and then it's an airtight packaging that disperses the moisturizer in a pump-like form. just to make sure that the formula is airtight. The only thing I don't like about the packaging is that it does make it more complicated for recycling purposes, but it ensures the stability. Was this the best moisturizer for dry skin that I've ever found in my life? No, but did it do what it was supposed to do? Yes. On to the next one, the Come Clean Clay Mask. This mask is very, very, very much needed and I think very smart. I think we can all relate. At some point we used clay masks on our skin, and clay masks, let me give you a brief rundown of the horrible history of clay masks with Hydrating. I love the benefits of clay, but in the past, clay masks have stripped my skin so much to the point that my skin will be physically inflamed, red, looking like it's sunburnt because it strips my moisture barrier so much. And while clays do have benefits, that's always my skepticism when it comes to clay masks on the market. A lot of times, I just don't feel like they're hydrating enough to compensate the drying side effects of a clay. And that's why I like this one. It has 3 different types of clays to really draw out the impurities from the pores, which is great for anyone who struggles with excess oiliness, overproduction of sebum, and dirt on the skin. But the primary ingredients are glycerin and grapeseed oil, which really help compensate for that potential drying nature. And even the formula itself, when you feel it and put it on the skin, it feels very nourishing, very hydrating, which automatically sets it apart from so many other clay masks I find on the market. It also has azelaic acid, which is great for exfoliating the skin, evening out the skin tone, and getting rid of dark spots. It has calendula extract, which is great for soothing any redness and irritation. And I personally have really enjoyed my experience with this one. I think it's great to use once a week. If you have more oily skin, using it 2 times a week. But I think this is a great introduction to face masks and clay masks, and is so much better than those clay masks that you mix with water that teens are usually trying out for the first time. Ugh, those are awful. Next is their break-even balancing toner, which actually comes in 2 different formats. You have the one with a pump, so you can disperse it onto a reusable cotton pad, or there's one that comes in a mist. So depending on which one you like, you have options. I personally like this one just because I like using a reusable cotton pad. The main ingredients it has is rose water, which is good for hydrating the skin, but not necessarily great on its own, which is why I really like the other ingredients that this toner has. It has glycerin to hydrate the skin, radish root ferment, sodium PCA, an amazing ingredient for reducing redness, niacinamide, woo-woo! My favorite ingredient for so many different reasons, but mainly because it reduces redness, it gets rid of dark spots and hyperpigmentation, it reduces the oil production within your skin to make sure you're less oily. It has willow bark extract, which is the natural form of salicylic acid, so you can get that deeply exfoliating benefit to help prevent against acne and breakouts, but at a low concentration to make sure you're not overly drying or overly treating your skin. And it has a bunch of root extracts, which are all great antioxidants. I have to say, looking at this ingredient list, I am so impressed with the amount of good ingredients that it has, but all at lower concentrations to make sure that you're not overly treating your face every day. Now, you guys know, generally in terms of toners, I really don't feel toners are necessary when they're just added for hydration, for the experience, or just another step. I don't feel they're necessary. But a necessary part in every skincare routine is treatment. You need to make sure that you're getting your exfoliation, you're getting your anti-redness, you're getting your antioxidants, and this is where I think the toner comes through. So while I don't feel a hydrating toner is necessary, if you are getting your treatment ingredients in a toner form, then I think it's great. The one thing that was a big red flag when I was initially looking through this ingredient list is that it does have fragrant components like linalool and geraniol, and I was like, whoa! Hold up, what is going on? And I actually reached out to the founder of the brand to ask her about that. Because those are fragrant components that are typically found in essential oils that I get a little nervous about whenever I see them in an ingredient list. The reason they're on this though is that with the amount of rose water that they're using in this formula, the European standards require that they disclose the potential fragrant components that would be in the rose water, which are all the fragrant components listed on this. And I confirmed with the founder to make sure that the ingredients weren't added for a fragrant benefit, but rather that they were only present because they're using rose water in this formula. And that was the case, which is comforting to me because the only time I get annoyed when I see those fragrant components is when they're added to make the product smell. But in a lot of natural ingredients, those fragrant components are naturally present. But with an ingredient like rose water, which is beneficial to the skin, it's totally justified. So I don't have a problem with it, but I wanted to say that just in case, like me, you guys look through the ingredient list and you're like, whoa, what is happening? From an experience standpoint, I enjoyed this toner because you're able to get the benefits of niacinamide and willow bark extract in a very, very lightweight form that feels like nothing on the skin, and is a great way to get those treatments, but at a very low dosage so you can use it every single day. And finally, we have my favorite product, the best product from the line in my opinion, the Level Up Balancing Moisturizer. You guys, I have used this for months and months on end, and it is one of my favorite moisturizers of 2020. For ingredients I like, it has glycerin. The 4th ingredient is hemp seed oil, which is really impressive because hemp seed oil is amazing for hydrating and nourishing the skin, but it's typically only present in formulas that are very rich, very thick, very heavy. But it's also great for soothing redness and irritation, which is something that I have to struggle with, unfortunately, very often. The sixth ingredient is niacinamide, so you're getting a good concentration. It has sodium PCA to soothe redness, hydrolyzed pea protein to strengthen the skin, and it has squalane as well, a great nourishing and moisturizing oil that is typically also only found in more thicker, heavier formulas. The reason I love this one is because it is extremely lightweight. It soaks into the skin so quickly, but you definitely feel a lot of hydration. I was surprised by the amount of hydration that it supplied to my skin throughout the day. Like, there were so many days I would check in after using this at the end of the day and realize that my dry spots weren't dry and my oily spots weren't greasy. It never left my skin shiny or greasy, but it also never left it dry. And honestly, it is a very, very similar formula to some of my favorite moisturizers that I've ever found. And by far one of the best moisturizers I've found this year. I already went through an entire bottle and I'm going into another one. But if you, like me, have more combination to oily skin, I highly recommend trying this one out because it really is great. And especially for the price point, how affordable it is, it's crazy good. So those are my thoughts on all the products. And I have to say, I mean, you guys already know this because I wouldn't work with a brand that I didn't love. I think what Bubble is doing is incredible and definitely needed in the industry. There need to be more good skincare options for teenagers that aren't highly irritating or really expensive, and with good, simplistic, minimalistic, and impressive formulas. It is one of the very, very few skincare brands where I look at all their products and think, I don't hate any of them, which is really rare. I mean, there are so many brands I love where they have amazing products, but they also have products that I just cannot stand. But this is one of the very few brands where I'm like, wow, I actually like all your formulas. I don't know what to do in this situation. But that's exactly why I wanted to partner with them. And I want to say again, thank you, Bubble, for sponsoring this video. But what do you guys think of Bubble? Are you going to try it out? Which product looks most interesting to you? Have you tried them? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you check out all the products in the description box below if you are interested in getting any of these for yourself. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and to the notification bell so that you can see my videos every single week. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Mwah.